Files are an extremely versatile and really just must-have tool for your bench that allows you to do everything from drastically moving metal and shaping metal to fine, intricate detailing. Today we're going to be talking about some of the differences between files and how to best implement different file types into your bench practices. Going back historically, some of the first files ever made were actually created by a process of striking a chisel onto a thick strip of iron in a pattern to create that file type texture that we know today. Of course, our modern files have a modern manufacturing process and are typically machined from alloyed steel, which gives them better longevity and consistency. The longevity of the file itself will also be affected by the way you store your files. We typically recommend keeping them either in a file organizer, such as this, or just in their original packaging. What happens over time is, whenever they're in your drawer, they end up sliding around, banging into each other, and this can damage the teeth, dull the teeth themselves, and make them less effective. Also, when handling a file, you don't want to touch the teeth. The perspiration or moisture from your hands can actually cause the files to rust, and any of the oils that you might have picked up on your hands will actually cause the file to skip while you're working on it. A simple fix to this is using some chalk to avoid all of that, but it's best to just avoid it altogether in the first place. Files for jewelry making come in various styles, cuts, shapes, and lengths. The length of your file is actually going to be slightly different based on who you ask. The American measurement system is going to measure from the tip of the file all the way down to the base of the file, whereas the Swiss measurement system will actually stop right above the base of the tang. The tang is the part of the file that is either inserted into a handle or held depending on the file type and your overall user preference. A few common styles are going to be your hand files, needle files, and escapement files, which each have their own specific use cases and benefits. They're basically going to continue to go down in size as we talk about the different ones. So first up, your hand files are the largest of the three. They're typically inserted into a handle for overall control and comfortability. These are bigger and so remove and move more material, so they're used primarily for shaping and smoothing large areas. Needle files, on the other hand, are going to be smaller in length and width and can be used in smaller areas that require a more detailed approach while still being able to remove and move a good bit of metal. Our escapement files are going to be our smallest of the three. These allow you to use them in more intricate work and hard to reach places. So what you're really doing as you go down from the larger files down to the smaller files is that you end up gaining a lot of flexibility in the areas you can reach, especially in those intricate designs. What you give up at that same time is the efficiency of being able to move a lot of metal around at once. Now, one of the biggest delineators between file performance is really going to be your cut. This is typically scaled from 00 all the way up to 8. So the lower the number, the coarser the cut of the file. The higher the number, the finer the cut. So you can expect to use your 00, for instance, for a more aggressive job, removing more of the big materials, whereas your 8 is going to be used really for more of your final cleanup. Finally, we can quickly get into the shape of the file. Now, your ideal file shape is always going to be determined by the available angles on the piece that you're working on and the specific areas needing to be filed down. Some of our most common file shapes are round, half round, flat, and barrette. Your round files are just that, completely round all the way around. So these are best for your curved surfaces and holes, especially whenever it comes to getting into the bearing of a setting where any casting defects might prevent your stones from not sitting how they're intended to. Now, flat files are just the opposite. They're completely flat. So their broad flat shape is going to allow you to smooth out your flat surfaces consistently. Your half round, on the other hand, is a really nice general purpose that can do both flat and curved surfaces. This one gives you the versatility and is just kind of the best of both worlds. So really just a fantastic tool to keep handy. Finally, we have our barrette file. Our barrette file is flat on the top and angled on the sides. This one is going to allow you to work the angles within galleries and other hard to reach areas that some of your more unique designs can create. Now, of course, I'm holding a big hand file and there's use cases for that. But your smaller barrette files are really, whenever it comes to those unique designs and galleries that you need to get into, this is going to be perfect. The other cool thing about barrette files is that they come to a point at the tip, so sometimes those sharper, more aggressive angles that you need to get into, this is an ideal tool that'll help you do just that. Now, of course, there are other file shapes and styles that we haven't discussed that you may use or may need on your bench for specific jobs, as well as a ton of different augmentations and bench hacks that can really take your work up to the next level. If you have specific questions or you would like more information on anything we discussed today, we here at Stellar are always more than happy to talk shop with you, give suggestions, and point you in the direction of the best tools for your needs. Feel free to visit us online, give our Tools Tech team a call at extension 4300, and follow us at Stellar Bench Jeweler on all social platforms for more content like this.